The topic is, what's the cost of being right? I am ready to get to this one. I'm ready to get to this one. So Jay-Z says in the third verse, be for the words, be on right, die for your love, that's beyond life. He says, they didn't see potential in me, girl, but you see it. If it's me and you against the world, and so be it. So, when two people believe that they're both right, what's supposed to happen next?
Please.
Jay-Z was talking about us.
Okay.
He's talking about us. They didn't see potential in us. I'm not going to say they didn't see potential in us. And that happens in the beginning. But what's the cost of being right? Mm-hmm. Was that the question? Mm-hmm. Right. I am not always right. I am not always right.
Don't edit that out.
Over time, someone's going to sit in the same seat and be faced with my word is final, or I said it, that's the way. And they're going to come to a point in the road where they're going to have to eat those words and be backtracked and say, I was wrong. True man will have the understanding to say, yes, I was wrong, and apologize and move on. We have this pride thing in our community. I'm the first, I'm the last. My word is bond beyond whom and whatever. It's not right. Mm-hmm. You are just tearing yourself up on the inside. Eventually, you're going to have to face that. I don't mind disagreeing, and we disagree quite often. And our disagreements are, she'll snap back. Oh, so I was right. Yeah, you were right. Or vice versa. It shouldn't be, and we were at a point when we were younger, that would elevate to argument. Mm-hmm. And an argument would then lead on to other things. The root cause is, why not be the bigger person? Say, hey, it was right. I can address it then and move on. If I hold on to that stance, that's just going to delay us and go from 10 minutes to an hour to a day, a week. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, doors are slammed. Mm-hmm. She's in that part of it. That's not cool. You're wasting time. Mm-hmm. I don't mind being wrong, and I've been wrong plenty of times, right? But I'm learning. I know what she likes. I can agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. That's something she's taught me many, many years ago, and that's hard. What do you mean learn to disagree? One of us got to be right, damn it. That's disagreeing is you either win or lose. Right, somebody got to win. Somebody got to win. And winning is, I can force it and say I win, but I don't feel good. Because what did I just do? I just put her down just to say I won. Not cool, brother. Sister's not cool. So there's no cost. I hate to see people take it, or couples take it and just live on it. 6 months. He or she constantly bring it up. That's not when you see this. Man, that's a deep root. Let it go. Yeah. Let it go. I mean, you're wasting time. You can, I don't like wasting time. And I learned that from her. Don't waste time. I can get money back. I can get this back, material things. I do not waste time. Right. Time is more valuable.
It is.
Time is much more valuable. I much have all the time in the world than to lose material money or material things.
It's a lot. Like my perspective on being right, when we used to get into that, I'm right and wrong. I've learned over time to just, okay, I'll just have to know in my heart that I'm right, and I just let it go. Because I feel like the storm going on around us, which is that debate, is not worth in a piece of us. You know what I mean? Like it's not worth always being right. You just have to know in your heart that you're right. Everything it's a choose your battle type situation. Everything doesn't have to be a battle. And I used to try to convey that to him. It just takes learning. You know what I mean? We have to learn each other. I know the triggers for him. He knows the triggers for me, where maybe one of us won't back down, of course. But at the same time, I value and I treasure the peace and the harmony of us. You know what I mean? And it's not worth tearing him down just to say, you know, I was right, you know, and I mean, it's just, first of all, it's not my personality, but it's, when you're looking at the bigger picture all the time, it makes things easier to focus on the small things. Because everything is, like I tell him, don't make like small things big things. Some of that stuff just has to go. I'm me and you're you. God didn't make us the same person. We're different people. We bring different things to this marriage, to this relationship. So whatever that is, you're right in your mind, I'm right in my mind, and we're just going to have to agree to disagree. And maybe one of us will come around one day to seeing the other's perspective, but that's just what it comes down to. Look at it from a different perspective. Get out of yourself and look at it from a different perspective, and not just yours. And that's what makes it easier for me to just walk away from a disagreement, you know, whether I think I'm right or wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll let them know I'm wrong, okay? You know, maybe not the same way. I do, you know. I'll say, you know, I was wrong, you know, I didn't look at it from that perspective, because that's usually what the issue is. You're not looking at it from somebody's perspective. I may have meant to say this, but I wasn't meaning, my feeling was that I didn't want to hurt you, but I wanted to convey something to you. Maybe I conveyed it to you wrong. Or maybe, it's just my choice of words. Sometimes that's a whole lot of what it is. Your choice of words or your tone or combination of the both. Or you just dead wrong. I mean,
essentially just the delivery.
And once you kind of get past that, you know, I can't make somebody that has a hot temper not have a hot temper. That's ingrained in you. That's something that you might want to work on. Or I can't make somebody just change the core of who they really are. Like, I have to accept that part about you and just understand that. But at the same time, there are things that you have to accept about me. Like, I accept all your good and all your bad, or unfavorable. I shouldn't say bad, but what I find maybe to be unfavorable, and same thing vice versa. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
And when we say agree to disagree, I think what we're saying underlying is I respect you.
I respect
who you are. I respect your differences. I respect that we are different. I respect that we see things in different ways. We have different perspectives, and it comes down to when somebody says, "Let's just agree to disagree." It's just verbally saying, you know, I respect your differences and you respect mine.
How often does someone's lack of support for the other one's stance take a toll on the relationship?
The foundation in the beginning, if you guys lay it out correctly, support is always ongoing.
Yeah.
Good times, bad times, yesterday, tomorrow. It's ongoing. You're constantly practicing support, and I'm going to support on the things that I don't even care about, but I should be there, I will be there, and vice versa. I'm not in this. I'm not in this for me. So I don't like this. She does, but I'm not going. Well, that's not right, because I know she would do the same for me. So why not repeat the same for her? You know, people look for support as ways to say what you're doing for me, and not what it does for the whole picture. They idolize me, mine, again, this is mine. I'll let you in a little bit, but that's it, this is my ball that you play. That's not support. I can support you in presence, and I'm not talking about material support, financial support, or somebody just giving you things. I need to support you mentally, I need to support you physically, I need to support you any way possible. Any way possible. If you guys get back to ride or die, you're just investing in your whole core. You take that support out, you just invested in me. That's not right. I totally, when I see that, because I'm around a lot of people, and like, you can't just do you, is what they say. You got to do you. But that's it.
Yeah.
And I don't expect her to like everything I like. Right. And she vice versa. She's looked at a lot of TV shows. I wasn't interested in that. 10 minutes later, I'm like, turn it up. Wait, go back. Go
Yeah.
back. What do they say? Go back. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've learned some interests about each other. We learned to support each other in different things that we want to do or want to try. Oh, that's the big one, trying.
Mm.
When they want to try something new, you should be their support. I don't like it, but I'm going to try it.
Right.
How many times have we benefited from that? It just,
It's ongoing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's ongoing. I mean, it just never ends. And that, it's not just in attempting to do things in life. It's just emotional support for things like, you know, going through medical situations and, you know, family situations. You know, our parents are getting older and things like that. And just kind of being that mental rock when everything is going on, that support that you need to hold on to when life is just going just totally out of control. Kids, parents, work, COVID, riots, just everything. You just have that one thing that you can cling to, which I see as support, that's going to hold you up, you know, when you just need that. And we both kind of been through some things, you know, in life where support absolutely was needed, where we weren't getting it from the rest of the world, let's just say. So support without it is just as bad as not having trust to me, because you have to have the both. I need your support because I need to know that you're there.
Right.
You know, like when you walking on this floor, you are trusting that this floor is going to support you and that you're not going to fall.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's going to be there. That's the way that I feel about it.
Right.
It's that stability. It's one of the four, if you want to say if there's four, one of the blocks of the foundation that support a relationship, support trust, you know, love, to me, friendship. So support is one of those big things, because you want to know that no matter what you're doing, it could sound crazy, it could sound nuts to me, whatever it is he wants to do. If he wants to have a hot dog truck, guess what? I'm having my hot dog hat on. I might not want to do that, but that's what his dream is. That's what he wants to do. I'm here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And everybody needs that person that's going to hold them up and push them forward and cheer them on to make that happen. You know, for me.
yeah, I think it goes back to not looking for any return. I can support you and say I'm supporting you 1,000%. It has nothing to benefit me. But if I say, what am I going to get out of it? We got a problem.
Yeah.
We have a problem.
I think that's part of that's very important for you to understand is there's support and then there's supporting the right way, right?
Right.
So like,
Right.
you know, growing up in church, they say, hey, you know, you can give, but
Right.
you better give with the right spirit.
Right.
You can give $1 million, but
Right.
if you give it the right way, it doesn't matter. I think that sometimes you have people who
Right.
just say, all right, I'm here. All right,
Oh, yeah.
you happy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
That's not
not.
support.
Yeah.
That's not support. That's presence.
Right.
And to not keep a point system. I did this for you then, and now you know.
now
yeah.
it's my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my turn.
Yeah.
It's my
That's
turn.
you know?
I think it comes back full picture when we go back to knowing in the beginning that you're committed, right? Because like what you were saying, if you know that you're committed and you see the bigger picture, me supporting you is ultimately supporting us. But
Right.
you gotta know in the beginning, and you gotta decide in the beginning
Yeah.
that this is what I want and this
Right.
is what I'm committed to.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're gonna become a you versus we thing.
Right.
It's competitive, and there's no competition.
Right.
There's no competition.
No.
Can I do the competition quote? Over the years,
Okay.
I've made X amount. I've made X amount. Instead of matching me, she's exceeded me. And then a year go by, and I'm like, damn. So it's not competitive. You know, we're to a point now where it's just ongoing. Ongoing. It's never competitive. I don't care if I'm the lesser financially and she's the provider. It always changes. And I'm not saying years. Sometime months. One time, 60 days, it was a different. But I mean, if it's never competitive. Never competitive. You shouldn't compete with your soulmate, your spouse, your husband, your ride or die, the one or the one with the potential. Don't compete with them. Motivate them. Motivate y'all. For those that are competing, it's just a foundation that's weak that's going to crumble. It's never going to produce any solid fruit.
what do you say though to those brothers who, you know, feel a way about their making more money, you know, like in terms of how they feel it affects their relationship? Because like I make more money, I, you know, have a certain stance in my relationship now, you know, or I may feel like if some women feel like, all right, if I'm making more money, then, you know, I'm actually calling the shots now. So I guess how have you all been able to navigate those waters?
27 years. It's changed multiple times. It's never been. Oh, let me answer your question. It's been fine for us because when I'm down, she's encouraging me to get up, and there's a change, and I get up, and then I'm up, and I'm encouraging her. For those brothers and sisters that had that, I know some. Know some that were married. Keyword were. Were married.
You can't let the finances of things dictate who the dominant person is in a relationship, if you want to call it dominant. That shouldn't be a determining factor. And I think that's what a lot of people they use that as something to determine who the shot caller is in the relationship. Money or something like that, like earning, not even potential, just what you bring now. So if I am bringing in, you know, more than his, it's ours. It's not mine. It's not, I make more than you, so I get to make the decisions or anything like that. Money doesn't equal you having the ability and the power to make the decisions of this relationship. Because truth be told, I may be better at making decisions, and I just happen to be making more money. Like sometimes, you know, you have to just know your strengths, number one, and number two, you have to look at each other as mutual, you know, partners. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your, you know, your employee. I'm not your subordinate or anything like that. I'm your partner. And if we're partners, it doesn't matter who's bringing what to the relationship. You can't. It's not a you dominate me because you're making more than me type situation. And I think that's what a lot of people use as a guide for their relationships to show dominance, if you want to call it that.
It's the trigger.
And it's like, you know, I pay the bills up in here, so I get to do whatever. It's like, we pay the bills. Okay, you make the money, but who's paying the bills? Who's calling Georgia Power? Who's running the house? You might be making the money, but I'm running the house. You know what I mean? It's just, there's just a partnership. There's teamwork. And if you look at each other as partners and as team, you know, team players, then you would get along better. You would, your relationship would be stronger. As opposed to,
it would be healthy.
As opposed to, he's the man, he run, you know, he does this, he makes this, no, you know, and I think that's a bit archaic. Maybe that, you know, it's how it was before, but, you know, we just all bring so much to the table, and I respect what he brings to the table, and he respects what I bring to the table. And, I'm sorry for the people that really
very sorry
see that, you know, that the finances in a relationship determine who makes the decisions of a relationship.
We've heard those.
That's parental to me.
We've heard those stories where everyone's heard that finances are the number one that break relationships. I can't say that's the case. We've been blessed with less, right? Yeah. I mean, with less, we've been blessed even more than those that have finances. It's not going to work. Every financial account is equal. It's not, I have more, and then she has one, and then she has a special, and I don't have time to manage that. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I'm just not going to do that. I have nothing to hide. She has nothing to hide. What comes in, comes in. What I spend is what I spend, and what she spends is what she spends, and that's it. There's no, hey, I'm at the store, I see something, is it alright if I swipe? What you calling me for? That line long, get it, and go. We don't do that. We just don't do that. But there are some situations where people have to do that. It's sad. You pray. You pray that, you know, there's a change. You pray that there's understanding, that there's a revitalize of the foundation to make it equal. I can only imagine that that's going to be horrible. Everything's going to be question and judgment. judged, and it's always a conversation. Can you imagine having those conversations? I'm at Quick Trip. Can I get these chips?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm at the mall. Can I get these shoes?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, full circle, because one of the things we talked about was trust, right? So when couples are having shared accounts or they're sharing finances, whatever, what that is saying is, I trust you to make the best decision for us. So if you want these bag of chips and you feel like this isn't going to affect us, I trust you. That's why we have this joint account together. And when you have to call and ask permission, it's giving an aura of, I don't trust myself and I'm making the best decision, and I don't know if you trust me to make the best decision for what we're doing together collectively.
True.
This is true.
This is true.
So we got some parting gifts here. So one says, what you say can be right, but how you say it can be wrong. The presentation is equally as important as the information itself. Ask yourself if the problem outweighs the benefits of the relationship or the importance of the person in your life. If the answer is no, commit to the process of compromise. They may see your point later.
I said that earlier.
Yeah. You in the notes. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to understand, that you in these notes.
She is there often.
Oh, see?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about okay. Another one says, as a community, now this is as relates to support. As a community, we must see each other as more than what the country says or sees us as.
Right.
Not doing so will continue to result in the need for approval from others. And one of the greatest sources of motivation on earth comes from the confidence that a mate gives to their partner. So don't take that power for granted.